So welcome to Cobblemon, a mod that brings the world of Pokemon straight into Minecraft. I'm Miro, and my journey on Cobblemon Island begins here. So my indecisiveness showed very quickly as I was unable to confidently pick a starter. As someone who's played through all the regions, I do have a bit of affliction with a lot of these starters. I love them all equally, but I couldn't pick which one I really wanted. Despite that, Mudkip has always been such a cute little guy, and I'm happy to have picked him. It took me a minute, but I did get there. My first time playing this, I did have a bit of issue with setting it up and making it ready, but later on, it became very smooth. So after picking my starter, I tried to random teleport, but wasn't able to do though for right now. Looking for the kits, I knew that this would give me a bit of a head start in my overall progression. And while perusing through the multiple kits, I tried to put everything on and figure out what I'm gonna do. And looking around, I didn't know where to go until I found the Sun Realm. There were 4 different realms, but honestly, since the Sun Realm was the first one that I found, I joined it immediately. I was immediately greeted with being dropped and losing most of my health. And as I looked around for a couple of seconds, trying to get out, making sure I know what's going on around me, I look out and I see a rogue phalanx. Trying to greet him, boom, I'm dead. But the first time is always an experiment. So I tried to random teleport again, and I quickly knew that my best chance here would be to try to get as much loot as I could so I could progress and continue to get more loot as I go around the map. My first goal was to, obviously level up my Pokemon, but I wanted to make sure that I would get loot as well so I wouldn't be empty-handed, because while this is also Pokemon, it's also Minecraft at the same time. Here I am trying to, figure everything out, get seeds, and I quickly tried to, level up my Pokemon, try to fight this Mankey, and boom, 2 seconds in the fight, my Mudkip's dead, and I have no idea what I'm gonna do. So I'm like, okay, let me get a new Pokemon. So I find this Flaffy, and I'm like, I can't even catch him. So I keep going around. Most of this stuff looks looted to me, but I'm like, I might as well look. And all these chests have items to them, so I'm assuming that there's, per person loot system, so no matter what happens, I can always find items. So I get a good amount of items, iron pickaxe. My inventory is pretty full, so I'm trying to, loot what I can and make sure I get everything, but also make sure I don't lose anything that would be pretty valuable, like those Ultra Balls that I just gotten. The better the balls, the better Pokemons I can get. So I'm going around trying to get as much stuff as I can, loot as much as I can, and I'm kind of avoiding the fact that my Mudkip is pretty much dead. But I realize that, he's gaining health as I loot and discover what's going on. So in my head, I'm just like, okay, it's about time for me to either figure out where I'm gonna live or try to find somewhere to heal my Mudkip, because I can't really level him up at all. So I'm sleeping here, and I'm like, well, this really is not where I'm trying to live. I really have a set idea for when I go, so I'm random teleporting again, and I'm trying to figure out where I could go and what I could do, because obviously I can't really level up my Mudkip, and I realize that the RTP is on a bit of a cooldown. So I'm looking around trying to see what my Mudkip can kill, and I can't find any low level Pokemons. I mean, maybe it's because of where I'm at or because of how long the server is, but as someone that just started, I couldn't really find something to easily level up my Mudkip. Evidently, from someone that's played Pokemon, I know Mudkip isn't the easiest Pokemon to level up, but I'm trying to RTP again and see if I can find somewhere better something that's a little more up to my style. I really love the way that when you RTP, you don't just, get plopped around somewhere on the map, but instead you get to, glide down and figure out where you want to go and what you want to do. So as, I'm going down, I'm like, oh, my Mudkip is almost dead. He really isn't, much of a help right now. He's level 10. I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to do with him. I'm going to try, if I can find a good Pokemon, try to get something that's going to be able to help me. And I see a Pinecco, I'm like, oh, that is not what I want. Let me just keep going. And I'm, sliding on the ice. I'm like, whoa, what's this? It's a Gimmighoul. Okay, let me try to get that. I miss. I shoot again, and I luckily, get the shot. But it's like, I really am trying to find something that will help me progress and be able to level up all my Pokemons and not die. And I'm wasting a lot of Great Balls on this guy. And I'm like, he's level 12. Is it really worth it? Am I going to, be able to do something? And I'm trying to fight him. I'm like, maybe my Mudkip could lower his health a little bit. Because obviously just trying to catch him from the cut is not working. So I'm, picking at him. Old school Pokemon techniques. My Mudkip's dead. It didn't take that long. So I'm like, okay, hopefully I took his health down enough so that I could capture him. And as the bulb is going, I luckily caught a new Pokemon and got the new achievement, a friend made. So now, 2 Pokemons, one's pretty much kind of useless, starter but a little useless, and I'm trying to figure out where do I want to live, what do I want to do. I'm not a big fan of snow biomes. I really love the way Spruce looks though. So I'm trying to figure out where do I want to place my house on this server and fundamentally find a way to make sure I'm happy and make sure I have a place where all my Pokemon can not only be revived and have somewhere to put all my stuff, claim a little land for myself. So I'm getting as much Spruce as I can. Spruce is my favorite wood in Minecraft, so I'm like, okay, let me try to catch this Mareep. No luck. This Mareep was not doing it for me, and I quickly got killed by a Pokemon, RTP'd, and found someone's build. I'm like, oh, that looks really nice. But skipping past that, running down, I'm like, okay, another Mareep, let me try my shots. And I caught that Mareep. Mareep for me is a great Pokemon, and I love his evolution line, and I can't wait to use him. I'm a big fan of Luxray as well, but I couldn't find one, and I'm really not. I'm a fan of the line beggars aren't choosers, and I'm right now a big beggar. So I'm going around still trying to find somewhere to live, to place my house, and I didn't want to just put it anywhere. And I'm looking around, I'm like, well, hopefully someone has like a healing machine that I can use, but there's no way. So I see this evolution of Swallow, and I'm like, can I get him? No shot. So I continue down, keep going, looking around everyone's houses, and I realize I can't even use the healing machines. I see this Heatmero, and I'm like, and I luckily catch him. So I RTP, and I'm like, hopefully this is the last time, because I cannot keep RTPing everywhere. And I find this little beach, and I love a nice cove. So I'm like, let me go ahead and start setting up. I start claiming, trying to figure out how to claim a little too much, buy too much I can chew, and I use the claim to start building my base. So this is a little time lapse of me building my base, and as I quickly try to lay the fundamentals, I hope you enjoyed this little music break. So right after I plant my multiple apricot trees, which I'll have to move later on, I realized that, I need a lot of cobble, and I start making a little mine at the back of my house. So I'm, mining, and this is where I'm gonna focus a little more on, Minecraft. And despite it being Cobblemon, you still have to do the fundamentals for Minecraft so that you can make sure that you're set up to, go explore, level up your Pokemons. And unfortunately, as much as I would love to dive and delve deep into, the Pokemon aspect of this mod, I still needed to make sure that everything was set up and everything was ready for me so that, next episode, I could start, level up my Pokemons and making sure that everything is set up and good to go. So as I continue to, time lapse and montage my building of this, my little base, I hope you guys can enjoy this. Put it on the side, put it in the background. As soon as I felt like I made pretty good progress with my base so far, I decided that, it's time to go back to exploring and time to get more loot. All I really needed was a place to store my full inventory. So I'm trying to find this civilian, and my mudkip dies instantly. I realized that, there's no way I'm gonna level this starter up without, being able to fight lower level Pokemons. So I'm trying everything, and one thing that I couldn't understand is every time I run, it never lets me run. I can run as my Minecraft character, but my Pokemon will always stay there. So this civilian just kills me. I'm like, oh my fucking god. Let's just, let me RTB back and try to find something else. Try to find more loot. Luckily I set home at where I'm at, and I'm gonna try to, get as much spruce as I can, because I do need more for the roof of my place. So this is another little time lapse, which this episode is gonna be riddled of, unfortunately. Maybe the next episode will have a lot less, or more so like, Pokemon or fighting Pokemon time lapse. But this episode was full of me collecting resources because I needed a lot of resources to start building my base. And after finally mining for a bit, making sure to smelt out my stuff, I'm like, okay, it's about time I get a healing machine and hopefully a PC, because I'm quickly gonna start catching as many Pokemon as I can. I'm obviously not gonna try to complete the Pokédex just yet, but as much as I can do, I'm gonna make sure to set up the fundamentals for both my Minecraft part and my Cobblemon part. So here I am setting up both the PC and the healing machine and trying to get everything ready so that when I'm fighting and leveling up my Mudkips and my Pokemon, I'm gonna be situated. And I try to heal them, but I realize that you need to charge the healing machine, which I just figured this is on a cooldown, but I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna do that. Somewhere during this time lapse, I had caught a Slowpoke, but the Slowpokes, it's kind of weird because they don't have a 3D model to them, so they just look a little weird. And later on, I put them in my PC because obviously I'm filming something for my YouTube channel, so I don't want a little Pokemon that looks kind of weird to be continuously on this series. So I finally found that Stallings can get demolished by my Heatmore, and as I tried to fight the Jutlik with my Mudkip, there's no way he would have survived. And I'm back at square one where my Mudkip barely has any levels. He's leveled up to level 12, but there's not much I can do for him. I finally figured out how to move my moves and change them and shift them so that I can pick what I want. And I'm trying to plant as many spruce trees as I can, and this is me switching gears again and starting to build the roof to my base. And as I try to slowly finish up the roof, that marks the end of this first episode. I've done a lot, and I can't wait to progress and keep it going to the second one. Thank you for watching.